on our own map here, I think we should strongly consider putting the Board of Ed up here as well, underneath the Washington County citizens. And that's what I did want to point out, most importantly, about this organizational chart. The top of this chart is the citizens of Washington County, because that's who we are here working for. And they are at the top for that reason. Next is something we've been working to strive toward is, with those 800 staff members on the right-hand side of your screen, we've broken this down into 5 service lines, and I won't go into this in too much detail, but economic development, education, human services, infrastructure, and public safety. Our values, committed to customer service. As I said, citizens are at the top of that, and that's citizens of all nature here in Washington County. So, getting into economic development, I'm going to go through just a few of the highlights with the budget before Sarah goes into more detail on each of our 5 service lines. So again, looking at economic development, we have a focus on the tax base, where we're striving to grow that, and that means economic development, business development, vitality, that for our community so we can provide more services, more revenue so that we can provide more to each of the citizens through that tax base. Business retention and business attraction. Fundamentally, every community thrives on or is shown its success through the economic vitality of its community, which also ties into education and our other service lines, of course. And we've done some smaller things. We're working on larger things like issue spending accounts to our EDC members to get out there. And the whole thing, everything we've done is the premise of return on investment for our community. So some information for education, and this just, again, some highlights. We have in the $1.5 million over FY18, 230,000 recently added, about half of what we found from STAT, State Department of Taxation and Assessment and Taxation. We found roughly 400,000. 230 was added to the Board of Ed fund when that became available. Increased the Board of Education on capital outlay by 2.9. Many of you, I'm sure, know about the task force, which the Board of Ed and the Board of County Commissioners and the Sheriff, who may be here, Sheriff, also participated in. So 2.9 increase over prior years. We've also worked hard to develop no less than $4 million in capital outlay. Listening to Superintendent Michael, there's about $9 million at the state level each year. We want to bring the match to that so we can get the best return on our investment for local dollars. And when we add up state and local funding total, the total budget each year for the Board of Ed is about $275 million. You can round it up to $276 million. As far as human services, equally important, community organization funding, 1.7, gaining almost $1 million there. ARC funding, we've been very prominent in the state as far as ARC success rate, which funds we've been able to gather and spend. And in fact, I'm very proud to share that this year is the first year that the Board of Ed has submitted and we have issued, the Board of County Commissioners has provided a project which will fund a Board of Education related project. So that's pretty exciting and progress. And we're working on construction of the Hancock Library. There's over 40 different capital projects underway roughly at one time. This year we have 43, rounded up to 44 million. Public-private partnerships, again, return on investment, ARC funding. We're looking at private funds so that we can build roads, do other things with private funds, county funds, and leverage state funds to get the most return on the investment. That works in 2 ways, getting improved transportation network, but also getting economic development. For instance, in the near future, we'd like to make an announcement probably this month or early in June that we'll be connecting Hathaway Boulevard to Greencastle Pike. Very exciting in that it opens up developable lands, increases the tax base, and can provide more revenue for the county to do more good things for the citizens. And next is the public safety. $6.5 million increase this year alone for the Public Safety Training Center, which is now up to $11.5 million on Sharpsburg Pike. Rescue squads last year was at zero for funding. Now, this year is $50,000. $800,000 in capital budget reserve, which will be used over the next 10 years and hopefully even beyond that, which will be replenished to continue to improve above and beyond the firefighters that were added this year. 8 new firefighters provides a backup to a system that needs that support and to assist the Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Team 911 operators, total employees 44 at that site, and we're looking for ways to encourage and create a career path for those employees that are out there. And our own Dave Hayes actually started with the county, or close to start, was at the 911 center. So talk about building career paths. He is certainly a role model for that. And we provide additional training for up to 5 deputies, working with the sheriff, looking at retirement, what's going to happen. This is not 5 new deputies, but getting the training in place, which takes 9 months, up to 9 months, getting them in the cadet school so that they'll be ready when the sheriffs who are retiring leave, so there's no lack of forces. And next, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, who's going to go into more detail. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. I'll stand up here so everyone can see me. My name is Sarah Grieve. I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Washington County. Here in Washington County, we actually have a budget process that is about 7 months long. It starts in November and runs through May of each fiscal year. The Office of Budget and Finance does work closely with departments of the county and also outside agencies throughout the entire time. Through this process, every account is reviewed. If an increase is requested, we do require justification for that increase request. This year, as you can see, we have budgeted for 19 funds comprised of more than 150 departments, and we have actually reviewed over 2,800 account combinations. Like I said, there are 19 funds, so the figures that you see on the screen reflect all of those fund totals. So the 2019 total budget is $328.7 million, which is a $3.3 million increase over last year. Operating funds increased 3.58%, while capital increased 8.6%. Something to note for capital funds is that the increase of 8.6% is directly related to the funding sources that we have for that year. So capital budgets do generally fluctuate from year to year greatly. So the increase there of 8.6 is related to grant funds and also an additional $1 million appropriation to the Board of Ed. The 2019 general fund is the budget that we talk about the most. That's because that's where our taxes are held for revenue. $229.6 million is the general fund budget. You can see on the right hand of the screen the history of the general fund. As we've gone through the economic downturn, you can see where we've held the operating budgets relatively flat through the years 2011 to 2014. And we have seen some steady increases in our revenue. So we've been able to provide for some of the things that maybe we didn't purchase during those more difficult times. So we are seeing steady increases. For the general fund operating budget, 95% of the budget is made up of taxes. Property taxes for FY19 budget increased by 2.3% based on estimates provided by the State Department of Assessment and Taxation. Also, income tax increased by 2.4% based on recent trends and projections for next year. Right here we have 4 different graphs that show the history of the general fund revenue. So on the top left, you see the history of property tax revenues. Something to note here is that in 2010, the property tax revenue was at $129 million. In 2019, we're at 126 million. So we are actually still below 2010 levels there. History of the income tax, the graph right below, this also does include recordation tax, but it is mainly income tax. We've seen a steady incline, which is good, and it also compares very closely to what's happening with our unemployment rate. So in 2010, our unemployment rate was around 10%. In 2018, we see it's down to around 5%. So we do see, as the unemployment rate comes down, we're also seeing our income tax rise. So that's good news. History of charges for services is the graph on the right. You will see an increase for FY19. That's mainly the result of speed camera revenue. You can see also the, the speed camera revenue was implemented in FY18. Half of the year of revenue was included there, so you can see how this increases play out on the graph. And also the history of the grant for operations, that has been held pretty consistent between the last 4 to 5 years, but that also does fluctuate year to year. What are county dollars spent on? This is for the general fund budget. 49% of the budget is spent on education. 49% equals $111.7 million. $98.5 million of that is for the Board of Ed. $10 million is for HCC, and $3 million towards libraries. Public safety represents 22% of our budget. 31.7, which is allocated to law enforcement, and 16.6, which is allocated to emergency services. Capital represents 8%. That does include the capital transfer, the general transfer to the capital fund, as well as debt service. Transfers that you see there for 5% amounts to about $11.5 million. Of that 11.5, $8.9 million is transferred directly to the highway fund. We're going to talk a little bit more about highway user revenues later, but we're going to mention that figure for you here. State and courts combined 4%, and then the 12% represents all of the other departments in the general fund. This slide is showing you the increase for the general fund for FY19. The increase is $7.9 million, $5.8 million of which is going towards education and public safety. You can see the figures on the left screen. Education is increased $1.8 million. $1.5 million of that is for the Board of Ed. The other $300,000 is for HCC. Law enforcement has increased $2.4 million. Emergency services, $1.4 million. And of those increases, they're mainly for public safety, that are mainly attributed to funding for the personnel replacement strategy that Rob talked a little bit about. 8 full-time firefighters, 2 full-time call takers, and the cost for wage and benefit increases, which include a 1.5% COLA for FY19. The remaining increases are related to, again, the COLA and then pension expense increase. So as I just mentioned, related to the replacement strategy for the public safety officers, the plan in place allows the deputy, like Rob said, to go through that training. This does come at a cost to the county of about $180,000 for FY19. However, in 2020, we do expect to see savings from these retirements of $350,000. Like I said before, your dollar primarily goes to education, 51%, 26% to public safety, 8% to roads, and 15% to other governmental services. The highway fund total budget for FY19 is $11.2 million. As I spoke about before, 8.9 of that is coming from the general fund. On the chart to the left, history of the highway fund, what is represented in yellow is the highway user revenue that we used to receive. This graph goes back, I don't know if you can see it, until 2007, and moves forward to 2019. So as you can see, our highway user revenue drops down. The blue bar represents the general fund money that has supplanted those funds. So you can see how user revenue does end up affecting other services that the county can or cannot provide, because now we are transferring funds over to the highway fund. Highway user funds decreased by approximately $7 million per year, and at a high in 2007, we were getting about $9.1 million. The lowest in 2012, about $400,000. And over the course of 10 years, this represents approximately a loss of between $60 and $70 million for the county. We do have other governmental funds that total about $10.7 million. The total of these funds is about $87,000 less than the budget for FY18, which is primarily due to the Land Preservation Fund being reduced in grant funding. But just wanted to mention that we do budget for these funds as well. Enterprise funds. We have several enterprise funds. The largest is the water and sewer, which is $19.4 million. And then followed by solid waste, which is $8.1 million. Enterprise funds do provide services funded primarily through user fees. And for the past 5 years, water sewer has increased about 3% per year for their operating budgets. And solid waste have had an increase in FY19, primarily due to debt service costs as well as post-closure costs. So both of those costs are mandatory. And so that has seen an increase in budget. 2019-2028 capital improvement plan. On the left, you can see a nice picture of our Connection wastewater treatment plant, which was in construction, is currently in construction right now, but soon to be finished. So the 2019 capital plan is $43.9 million. 50% of that budget is related to education, 28% to roads, 8% to public safety, 4% environmental, and 10% to other areas. Capital projects are paid through many sources. I have them broken out here on a graph between between bonds and cash sources. So we have tax-supported debt, we have self-supported debt, and then we have cash sources and grants. Tax-supported debt is debt that's in the general fund. Self-supported debt is debt that's paid for by the enterprise funds that we just talked about, such as water and sewer and solid waste. So we do issue debt for our capital projects. The key factor in the issuance of debt is understanding effective debt management, and that's really critical to the overall financial management of the county. In this regard, the county has instituted a self-imposed requirement that an annual debt affordability analysis be conducted. This analysis provides a method by which the county's debt position can be evaluated, tested for stress and affordability, and then compared to other jurisdictions. So the analysis provides the county commissioners and the citizens with a way to assess the impact of our bond issuance and allows informed decisions regarding financial proposals and capital spending. So overall, the debt affordability analysis does help the county to ensure that the appropriate balance is maintained between capital needs and the ability to pay for them. Over the next couple pages, we're going to go through some of the highlights of the capital improvement plan. We do have some annual allocations, such as the payment maintenance project. Currently in FY19, that project is getting $4.5 million to keep our roads working well for us here in the county. The other project I'm showing here is the stormwater retrofits project. It has $654,000 for FY19. This is a result of a regulatory requirement by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Maryland Department of the Environment. The county has implemented a Clean County initiative and is excited to be working towards clean streets and clean streams in a multitude of ways to satisfy this requirement. For education projects, we have Sharpsburg Elementary School. FY19 budget is $10 million with a total cost of $26.8 million. The Board of Ed capital maintenance project is $3.2 million for FY19. This capital maintenance project actually started out in the plan as $1.5 million, and it was funded 71% state and 29% county. So over the course of the budget cycle, that has definitely changed, and was most recently increased by $1 million due to the school safety initiative. So overall, for the Board of Ed for FY19 capital plan, the county has dedicated $5.2 million in local funds. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, you have the Learning Resource Center. The FY19 budget is $948,000. It's about a $2 million project. And then I did just want to mention the Barber Annual School for the Arts. It's not in the FY19 capital plan, but it is starting construction in the next few months. The school will be expanded to include a fifth floor, allow additional capacity. And the school is part of the larger UIP urban improvement project that's going on downtown. That's a $40 million project. There are several partners involved with that, including the Board of Ed, the Maryland Theater, USMH, the City of Hagerstown, obviously the county, and the governor has actually allocated $7.5 million to that project. So we're very excited about that. For public safety capital projects, the police, fire, and emergency services training facility is a $1.5 million project, $1.8 million allocated for FY19. This facility will be approximately 40,000 square feet, and it will be utilized by state, county, and local fire, police, and emergency services professionals. Also, as Ron mentioned earlier, we do have the county rescue fleet replacement in there. For FY19, it has an allocation of $800,000, a 10-year running cost of $8.5 million, and this program is to begin assisting volunteer organizations with larger primary apparatus replacement. Some fun facts about the county. We do have a very low expenditure cost per capita. We're ranking 21 in the state out of 24 counties. And we also are the 6th lowest in the state for real estate and income tax rates. And we have kept those the same for the past 19 years. And last but not least, I'm proud to announce that our bond rating has maintained the same for the FY18 bond issue. This is important because it provides confidence to investors and other stakeholders. It provides a way to benchmark the county against other counties, and it also does have a fiscal impact. Market conditions constantly change. However, we estimate for this past bond issuance that we did, which was $14.5 million, that if we would have had an A rating versus the AA+, we have saved over about $675,000. So year over year, we're issuing these bonds. You can see how that money adds up. And so we're always striving to have a better bond rating. So I think that concludes my portion of this presentation, and I'll turn it back over to Paul.
Okay, so I believe, thank you very much, Sarah. What I'd like to do now is ask the commissioners to come up, and perhaps this room will rise if all things are going according to plan. And for those of you that have questions that signed up out front, I don't know if we have the number or you good? Okay. So they have, you gentlemen have the sign-up sheet. President Bacon, you probably have the name. Thank you.
Check. I'd just like to start off by saying good evening to everyone. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to to come tell the county commissioners what's on your mind and some ideas and some things for us to consider. And I think I'm going to recommend to our county administrator that we change the meeting time for the budget hearing to 5:30. I don't think I've ever seen a turnout like this when we have it at 7 o'clock. So I like this. So, just a couple of things before we get started here. The process that we'll go through is I have 3 sign-up sheets. I'll call who signed up first. I'll just say so-and-so first, so-and-so second, so-and-so on deck. We do have 2 speakers here, so we'll just make it work. And I'll tell you, we have 5 county commissioners here. Each and every one of us are very, very proud Washington County Public School graduates. Each of us graduated from our local public school institution, and every county commissioner sitting here has done and worked hard and diligent along with staff to try to provide everybody's request to the best of our ability. It's very, very difficult juggling X amount of dollars trying to get everybody what they need so that they can have an exceptional program. So I will tell you, each and every county commissioner has done due diligence trying to come up and solve our budget issues, just like the Board of Education, just like our seniors. Everybody only has so much money, and we have to make it work. Also, this group of county commissioners, along with the local Board of Education elected officials, in my opinion, I think we have an outstanding working relationship with them. I mean, for myself, I've reached out to some of the school board members, call them up on their personal phone, and they answer. We have conversations, we have meetings. So I think we have an outstanding working relationship with our local Board of Education, and I would be hurt if they disagreed with me. Seniors, we have 4 county commissioners here this evening. We have 5 total. 4 of us are senior citizens, so we do value what our seniors have. I don't have one young kid.
I used to be the young guy that he came up with.
We do all that we can for our seniors in our community. We know they have needs. We know that they have many, many individuals, seniors out that need a meal. I was fortunate enough to go along with Board of Ed member Mike Gessler on Meals to Wheels as he went out and he delivered meals to our seniors in need throughout Washington County. And I know they need more money to be able to provide other seniors that need to be provided a meal. So we're trying to work with all of that. Our emergency services, I know this group of county commissioners, we have done everything possible to work with our volunteers, our emergency service operations, and we've done everything that we could possibly do to try to help everybody with their funding needs and all of their needs. So maybe just a couple of comments that I wanted to make, and I also want to thank our county staff who has worked just tirelessly trying to put this budget together. It's not easy. Many times we go to them, they think they have everything in order. A county commissioner will go visit with them and say, hey, this is what I'd like to see happen. This is what I think we need to see happen. So they have to adjust, tweak, and it's just non-stop. So when she said that they work on it for 7 months, that's 7 months, probably 8 hours a day at the county, and then they probably take it home and work with it, just like teachers, 4, 5, 6 hours an evening. So anyhow, they were my words. Again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming here this evening. Just a wonderful turnout, and I'm going to do my best to keep the presentation at 5:30 in the evening. So with that, I'd like to offer all of the other county commissioners a chance to say some things before we get started.
So we'll do it first. Again, I want to give Mr. Baker, Commissioner Baker, thanks for all being here. I think the comments that we work well with the Board of Education members. We're all friends and known each other for a long time. For those who don't know, my mom was a retired cafeteria worker. She started off as a dishwasher to a cook, and I bet you those pots and pans were the cleanest pans you ever saw in the chef. Because I know how she did the dishes around the house. I think the commissioners and our staff have worked diligently One comment was we looked down to the line item of $50 to find every single expenditure that we could save and share with the other agencies. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I didn't appreciate the passion of every individual or group that you represent in here. If you didn't have that passion for your occupation or the service that you did, I'd be wondering why you were in that occupation. So by no means do I not believe that you're passionate and believe in your cause. And with that being said, I'm anxiously looking forward to your suggestions and comments tonight. Thank you.
Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening. I think we have a great turnout, and I think it's appropriate because I consider this to be the most important meeting we have each year. As was mentioned, staff spends many months, 7 months, putting the budget together, putting the numbers together, coming to us for approval, making tweaks and changes along the way. And what that does is, that decides how we spend your money, your taxpayer dollars, for the next 12 months. So this is a year-long process, and it's very important, because again, we're spending your money. I'd like to also echo what President Baker said, that we serve so many people in the community, everyone from senior citizens, I guess all the way down to youngsters like myself, and there's many needs in the community, and they're all important, they're all valid, and they all help make Washington County a better place. So thank you for showing up this evening. We do take your comments to heart, and help us make good decisions for our community. Thanks.
Good job.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. For me, it's pretty simple. It's public education, public safety, and public infrastructure. And as you've heard here this evening, the commissioners work real hard throughout the year to do their very best to make sure those three pillars are taken care of in our community. And it's very gratifying to know that Washington County is on top of things and is highly regarded and respected not only locally but statewide. So again, thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, I have a sheet here, as I said, I have names on it, so what we'll do is we'll start out with sign up number 1, Melissa Williams. Second to speak will be Stephen Stauffer. And on deck will be Peter Bickford. Mr. Stauffer, you walk over to that one. You know the old saying, if you can read this, thank a teacher. Mr. Stauffer was my teacher back in the early 70s.
Don't mind saying, Mr. Baker, Mrs. Williams was my teacher in the early 90s.
And each of us are here because of teachers, so, good.
Good evening, President Baker, Vice President Klein, Commissioners Sklar and Kiefer. Throughout this budget cycle, I've met and talked with you collectively and individually. And I'm here this evening to ask, once again, for full funding of the Board of Education's budget. As a member of the Board of Education, it is my job to advocate for each and every student in Washington County so that they can have a safe and educationally sound experience. It is my responsibility to make you aware of the needs and challenges we are currently facing. I'd like to remind you of some of those challenges. WCPS has an increasingly diverse student population. 46.9% of our student population qualifies for free and reduced meals. An increasing number of students have extraordinary needs, medical or social-emotional, that require specialized programming. Over the last 2 years, we have seen an 8% increase in the number of students who have autism and a 19% increase in students with intellectual disabilities. In response to the need for increasingly specialized services, WCPS has grown from 30 specialized programs in 2010 to 51 this year. WCPS is experiencing exponential growth in the number of students who have documented medical or emotional diagnoses and who require educational services provided at home or in the hospital. Last year, 804 students received home and hospital teaching, up from 492 in school year 2015-2016. We have an increasing number of students who speak little or no English, who require specialized instruction. 422 students in 2016-2017 increased to 521 this year. This number is expected to grow. Many of these students come to us with little or no schooling, and a total of 36 different languages are spoken by students enrolled in our schools. 36. We have students who come to us unready for kindergarten, with only 37% of our youngest students demonstrating readiness to enter kindergarten. Our county ranks next to last in the state. Next to last. The number of students who are in transition, homeless, or living in foster homes or group homes has more than doubled from 2011, when it was 395, to 796 last year. Those are just some of our challenges, Commissioners. Our students have undeniable needs. Needs that must be addressed now, and needs that we, as elected representatives, must address together. The additional $230,000 that you have discussed adding to our operating budget will be greatly appreciated, as will any capital dollars that you are able to allocate to assist with making our schools safer. However, I know that to meet the pressing, undeniable needs of our students, more is required, and I respectfully request that you fully fund our budget so that together we can provide our county students with the education they need and the education they deserve. Thank you, Commissioners.
Gene Stauffer up, Peter Bickford after him, and Jacqueline Fisher on deck.
I just want to say that Mr. Baker helped to fund some of my retirement because he makes monthly payments to me, so I keep my mouth shut about when he was a student of mine. Commissioner Klein was also a student at the high school, but I don't have to teach him.
I was fortunate enough to take that.
I'm very proud to be here tonight to advocate for the Washington County Board of Education. I was a 42-year veteran of that school system as an employee, and spent a lot of good years there, and a lot of former students are now friends and so forth. I want to thank the commissioners, first of all, for what they have given towards our operating budget, the $230,000 for pre-K, the money, $800 and some thousand, I think it was, left over from construction of Jonathan Hager, and so forth. But today's school system and educational system, it's not the system of your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and perhaps even your 90s. There are a lot of unfunded mandates and things that come our way that we have to make do out of what the commissioners and other agencies and so forth give us. It's very difficult to do that. There have been several meetings where we have stated our case for funding to the commissioners and to individual commissioners and so forth. Give you an example of some of the unfunded, some of the things we endure. The cost of SROs. So you don't have to worry about SROs being in schools in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s even. Those of us who went to school in the 50s and 60s, the teachers maintained order and so forth, and you don't have to worry about people coming into the schools and shooting places up. So, but the cost of SROs, for example, has risen 71% since 2013. The cost has gone from $300 and some thousand to $700 and some thousand. Now, we've added some SROs, that's added to the cost. But that's just something that we have to deal with out of maintenance of effort dollars. That's just one example. You've heard a lot of other things from President Williams. But it's going to fall. There, okay. I just want to say this, and I don't want to put the commissioners on the spot, but, you know, $1.2 million of our increase this year was given to us because the state of Maryland mandated that you had to give it because Washington County, under the maintenance of effort law, is designated as a low-effort county. And that's not the Washington County Board of Education's nomenclature. That's state law. And I just wonder if we would have gotten that money if it hadn't been for maintenance of effort law. Anyhow, what will Washington County continue to do in the future? Well, I will tell you this. One of the things that others and I said to the superintendent, Dr. Michael, when he came on board, was that if you want us to advocate for increased funding, and you want us to advocate for full funding, then we have to be sure that the money we are receiving, or that we are receiving, is being utilized in the most conservative and best way possible. And I think the fact that over $2 million was cut by staff from the current budget shows that that is what he and the staff did. And I commend the staff and the superintendent for doing that. Washington County will continue to try and work with the money that we receive. But costs do go up. And we don't have any control over those things. So I please, try to, where possible, in the future, even now, try to fully fund the Board of Education, and we'll make sure that we'll be good stewards of that money. Thank you.
Jacqueline Fisher, Beck, Mark Esser, and Hall.
Good evening. I want to agree with President Baker that I think we, as a Board of Ed, have a fantastic cooperative relationship with the county commissioners. It does seem like you are friends. It's easy to pick up the phone and call you. And so one of the things that I try to do in this situation is put myself in your shoes. And that was the sentiment when I wrote these comments. Like a good Washington County Public Schools person, I didn't do it on my iPad, but I did do it on my iPhone. So hopefully it won't go out or somebody won't call me. But my daughter I grew up in the school system. My daughter recently graduated from the school system. She's actually going to turn 20 years old this Sunday, which I can't believe. But I was thinking about her and her birthday, and like most kids, she would love a car. She's dropping lots of hints. And if not a car, she'd love a trip to New York City. But what can my wife and I afford is the question. Probably she's not going to get a car. I can most definitely tell you she's not going to get a car, but she might get some Uber gift certificates. And we're not planning a trip to, I don't think this is being streamed live, but we're not planning a trip to New York City yet, but maybe there'll be a trip to Washington or something. We don't love her any less, but we're being responsible parents. And I know that's how it is with you. I can tell you from having that great working relationship with each of you that I know for a fact you all believe in education. You've stated it publicly. Your actions prove it. You believe in students and teachers and schools. You call us when you've got concerns. But there's only so much money to go around. We know that, as you said. And putting myself in your shoes, to make matters even more difficult, you don't even get a choice in how much money you give us. You're elected to be representatives of the county citizens, and yet the state is telling you how much money to give us. I think about that with a birthday, and I think, imagine if there was a law that commands me to spend exactly the same amount on my daughter's birthday this year that I did last year. There's definitely a part of me that would want to spend just that and nothing more. No one likes being told what to give. When I pay my taxes, they always try those questions on there about, do you want to give extra money for the presidential campaign, or to pay down the national debt, or give to the Chesapeake Bay Fund? And I always say no. That's the principle of it, I'm giving money to the government. So we understand that it's hard to give us more when you're already being asked to give us so much. That's why this year, we as a board went into our budget process trying to make sure as much as possible that we didn't have to ask you for more money. As Stan talked about, we looked through the budget, we chopped, we sliced, we're on the finance committee, so we can tell you our finance staff are top-notch, and they looked at every line. And it added up to more than $2.2 million in cuts. Most of that probably coming out of programs. And yet, when we looked at the changing landscape of our student body, we also realized that we would indeed have to ask you for extra funding. As Melissa stated, our needs are changing. Kids need pre-K. They need safe schools. They need quality, well-paid teachers and all those who support teachers. And we can meet those needs with our budget request this year. So thank you for already coming up with a quarter of our request. That'll pay for additional preschool teachers. And thank you for freeing up funds for our security vestibules that will keep our kids and staff safer. We would ask you that you fully fund our budget request. We've proven that this board and this superintendent will spend it prudently, conservatively, wisely. We don't want a new car. We don't want a trip to New York City. But we do want to make our schools safer, our youngest children brighter, and your county, all our children brighter, and your county that much better. Thank you very much.
Captain Fisher up, my guest on deck to the Morgan Hall.
Good evening, and thank you, Commissioners, for allowing us to speak tonight. I have always believed in the American dream, and that education is the key to those dreams. Unfortunately, education and students' dreams here in Washington County are in trouble. They're in trouble because costs are skyrocketing while funding is stagnant. Many expenses once covered by the county, by the health department, by law enforcement agencies, etc., now fall to the school system for funding. At the same time, the student population's needs are growing. There are more students living in poverty, more students who do not speak English, more students challenged with special needs such as autism, more students who are unprepared for kindergarten, more students requiring home or hospital services, and more students involved in drug use. Thus, employees at all levels are required to do more and more. In addition, unfunded mandates from the state legislature are increasing yearly, while interventions to ensure the safety of our students are requiring new expenditures running into the millions. Over the last 5 years, the average funding above maintenance of effort level for all of the Maryland school districts has been 1.56%, or $3.7 million. Well, that's on an average, if each county had given the same amount. However, in Washington County, the average is 0.06%, or $58,000. In addition, because the county has only provided a portion of the amount required for the state to contribute to construction and maintenance funding, the school system has had to take funds from its general operating budget to secure much-needed state contributions. With the new Sharpsburg Elementary School on the horizon and many major maintenance needs, the Board of County Commissioners' projected capital budgets for 2019 and 2020 together would leave the school system short nearly $6 million. All of our students deserve a great education so they can achieve their dreams. Our county must invest in those students and their dreams so that in turn, our county will benefit from a well-educated workforce and prosper. Thank you.
My guests are up. Linda Mario Beck, Dr. Wayne Michael on the vote.
Good evening, Commissioners. There is a crisis growing in the United States. It is affecting counties, including ours. A once highly regarded, respected profession is now headed to the highest teacher shortage nationwide and statewide, particularly in the high-need areas of science and math. Enrollment in college for educational majors are declining. We ask why, and we only need to look at the tired, exhausted teachers who work long and hard hours to educate our students of Washington County. Teachers go to bed grading papers, reading reports, watching new educational videos on how to be a better teacher and how to teach this product to maximize the student's potential. They have one of the hardest jobs in life, and that is teaching our children. Think about it. If it was easy, why don't all parents do it? We all know that answer. Not many teachers do it for the money, but we need to use common sense and realize teachers are human, and they could move to other professions, making more money with less responsibilities. And many are, and this is the cause of the crisis. Washington County Schools needs to be competitive, not just with teacher salaries and benefits, but other comparable industries, if we are going to keep great teachers teaching. Without increases to the maintenance of effort, we lose, you lose, and Washington County loses. Secondly, Washington County Public Schools and the Board of County Commissioners worked cooperatively for many years to substantially reduce the backlog of Washington County Public Schools deferred maintenance. Under the current Board of County Commissioners' long-range plan, the deferred maintenance for 47 schools is growing and will grow substantially, negatively affecting our children and the taxpayers. We last reported to you the data from the fall of 2017, estimating the cost of school-based deferred maintenance at $45 million, not including the $9 million in deferred ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act deficiencies. On top of that, we continue to have new state laws like the new COMAR regulations where we have to test every water source at every school at an estimated cost of $60,000 just in lab costs, not including retesting, maintenance, and replacement costs, which could add tens of thousands more. Then, when other school systems around the state were doing little to protect their students, Washington County Public Schools were building vestibules, securing schools with ID card systems, security cameras, putting up walls in open area schools, all the while using monies within our school budget. Other counties around the state did very little and now might be receiving monies from the state to do so. We were proactive, visionaries, if you will, taking the best care we could of our assets like our children and our school buildings. It's time that the Board of County Commissioners realize the importance of our deferred maintenance deficit and stop making us beg for extra monies to maintain our 47 schools. I would also request that you provide replacement funding for being proactive when it comes to safety of our children in schools. As I look at the current proposed budget, to me it seems that you didn't listen or care to address this. I question why we have a rec center listed in the budget when we have to fight for our requested maintenance of effort each year. A rec center is justified? Please remove the rec center from the budget and designate a portion of that money to education and public safety. Thank you. Washington Public Schools to please stand if you're here. All staff, please stand. Thank you.
Linda Mario up, Dr. Wayne Michael on deck, and we will have you vote.
Good evening, President Baker, Vice President Klein, and Commissioners Kiefer and Barr. I want to start out by thanking you for your service to our community. You have a difficult job running the county, and we appreciate all you do. I also come tonight to speak on behalf of the Board of Education. In this era of uncertainty, our school board budget is not merely about teachers and buildings. It is also about keeping our students safe, with safe buildings and school resource officers. It is about keeping our students healthy by making sure we have nurses and health assistants to give them the proper medication. It is about making sure our students are ready to enter kindergarten with the skills they need in order to learn. These things are not wants, but needs that take extra funding. We ask that you strongly consider these needs when approving your budget. I hope that in the future, the Board of Education and the Board of County Commissioners will keep an open dialogue so that we can always work together to provide what is best needed for the students of Washington County. Thank you.
Well, before you mic them up, maybe Michael and Beck, you Brian.
Good evening. I believe we often relate to the challenges faced with making difficult budget decisions. Our board has already made those difficult decisions, cutting over $2.2 million in baseline budget. Washington County Public Schools has brought to you, the Board of County Commissioners, a needs-based budget. That need represents a 1.85% increase in our operating budget for FY19, less than the pace of inflation. Education is a key component of any community's quality of life, and is a worthy investment to properly maximize. Regrettably, Washington County government has been recognized by the state as a low-effort entity, a reflection of the level of funding you allocated for schools. We are asking you to renew that legal in the near future by providing the requested level of support and leading our students in a worthy cause to become an overachieving school district. Our community has been startled by our kindergarten readiness statistics, the lowest in the state, only Prince George's County. This Board of Education has taken immediate action in responding to that need, opening and expanding additional resource officer programs and our school crossing guards, a budgetary expense of nearly $1 million each year. In most communities, this vital expense is covered by the county government budget and not taken from limited education dollars. We are currently on the front end of a crisis. We have teacher shortage, locally, regionally, and nationally. We are seeing this crisis already in our applicant pool. As a community, we must do better to recruit, train, and retain our best teachers. For the past 5 years, teachers have received a 12.5% increase in wages, including their chefs. Looking at the competition in the market, we will be better positioned when teachers have received a 22% raise over the last 5 years, similar to that of county government employees. Help to support the teachers who encourage, drive, and enhance the achievements of our students. Your children, your grandchildren, who are Washington County Public Schools. It is imperative that we do better for our teachers and recognize the hard work in our community. We cannot continue to rely on uncertainty of the state funding each fiscal year. The best approach moving forward for our students and our community is partnering with you, our elected Board of County Commissioners. I am charged with leading our students with high levels of academic achievement and providing an attractive school system to our community. One where parents want to raise their children, a place where teachers desire to work, and a community that attracts business for our educated workforce. Your students need you to provide resources necessary to pursue that vision.
Just a couple comments before we move forward. Washington County is very, very fortunate to have a superintendent such as Dr. Reynolds. raised in Washington County, public school graduate of Washington County, went to college, came back, and returned back to the community, taught school, then stuck through the system, now he's superintendent, and for me, it's really, it's great to be able to reach out to Dr. Michael and feel comfortable talking to him and know when he gives you feedback and answers your questions, you're getting nothing but a lot of straight from it. Grocery stores, we didn't have shops in the community. Almost every family in Washington County knows it, so he has to do the right thing all the time. So, thank Superintendent for electing him as superintendent. Also, just a couple of other things there that we just heard. We talked a little bit about school resource officers. We're talking about our county commissioners, Jeff Pine and Wayne Kiefer. The next meeting after the shooting in St. Mary's County, they came in and they made us to put a task, challenge the rest of the commissioners to put a task force together with your local school board to address our concerns and try to do what's right for our kids in our community. Commissioner Conrad, one of the first to say, I want to serve on that task force. So we do have a great working relationship with your elected school board and the staff, and our county commissioners here deserve some leadership for that. Also, we talked a lot about preschool. From day one, Commissioner Kiefer has been an advocate of our preschool programs. So we do have commissioners that are in tune with educational needs. We're trying to do what we can do to the rest of our ability to address all your needs. So I just thought that was important to say because our commissioners have us set up and come forward with false narratives.
One more thing for those teachers, Cal, Dr. Michael, my principal, got one more thing.
Thank you. And I believe Commissioner Walker has to leave he's a little younger. Okay, back to task here. Let's go. You want to move prior on that? How do you feel as well?
I want to thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of the seniors of Washington County. As we've spoken many times, you know, seniors are the fastest growing segment of our population, surpassing all school-age children. Yet at the same time, they face desperate needs because being a vulnerable population, they're making choices of whether or not to put food on the table or buy a prescription. And it's essential as we look at the budget and we think about flat funding, what that equates to over a 3-year span of what services can be provided to seniors of Washington County, not even discussing the potential of loss of staff because of sustainability. Medicare and Medicaid is huge, and it's a very complex system. As many of you attended our workshops and know individuals who participated in those, it's not an easy process to understand and comprehend, let alone all of the dynamics that go along with hiring and training and retaining staff. And so the flat funding, that comes to increase services. And as you know, we have this wonderful, beautiful building that we've outgrown, and that's exciting for me to stand before you and tell you, because we have served in 2017 over 6,000 unduplicated seniors across our county. And if I would just ask the public here tonight to just raise your hand if you know someone, have worked with someone who has been touched by the Commission on Aging, you work there, you have a neighbor who's been served, please raise your hand at this time. You know, it's really important that, I know some of you have been touched through our Meals on Wheels program, a program that has 60+ on the waiting list of medically homebound seniors who are vulnerable and do not have access to food. You know, they're sharing their meals with pets because that's their only socialization, and that's really sad that we come to the table today and ask for you to reconsider the budget as we look forward to serving those that have served us in many capacities. They work for us, they've served us, they've been our neighbor, our companions, and they need us now. So it's an opportunity for us to step forward and serve them. So thank you.
Please brought her up, Patty Felix on deck, Ryan Bell.
Good evening, Commissioners and public here this evening. My name is Dean Fryer. I'm a 1991 graduate of Smithsburg High School, but I'm not here to talk about education necessarily. My wife and I both have two sons. One's an 8th grader at Boothboro High School, at Boothboro Middle School rather, and one's in 11th grade at Boothboro High School. I'm currently a manager of spiritual care hospitals in Washington County and also a clinical chaplain at Douglas House, our first hospice house here in Washington County. What I'd like to speak to you on tonight is, most recently I've become a board member at the Commission on Aging. And commissioners, we know that 2.6 to 2.9% we've seen an increase in countywide inflation recently. The Commission on Aging serves not only services for our seniors, but also for the most vulnerable in our society and county here in Washington County. In fact, the Commission on Aging provides disability services and in fact is a primary source for disability services here in our county. Just in 2016 through 2017, we've seen a 22% increase in the use of service that the Commission on Aging has helped with our seniors. And just as Amy has provided information on Meals for Wheels, there should not be with the increase in revenue in our county, any senior in our county that goes without a meal available. It's sad to see in the county where we live that a senior runs out of pet food and provides that Meal on Wheels food for their pet. So our seniors are some of the most vulnerable. Also, here in our county, the Commission on Aging supports supportive services, long-term care services and resources, health and nutrition services, ombudsman and legal services, caregiver support, education, and Meals for Wheels is what we're known for as well. You see, it's just not an option to cut our senior services here in our county, but we need your additional support as commissioners and as a public here this evening. And I'd like for us to continue to rise to the occasion as a community and as a county for the Commission on Aging to help serve those most vulnerable in our area, our seniors. In closing, I'm so impressed with the Commission on Aging's newer services. And for example, at the new building that we're in now, we are able to serve hot meals through a cafe. And it serves hundreds of people with very inexpensive and nutritional meals for those that can come into the center. But just think there's hundreds of people in the county still that are elderly that are not able to get out. And so I would request this evening that we could maybe look into providing additional support to the Commission on Aging here in Washington County. And I thank you for your time this evening.
Patty Felix up, Ryan Bell on deck, Gail Blue.
I would like to thank the county commissioners and the Board of Education for allowing me the opportunity this evening to speak. My name is Patty Felix, and I'm the school secretary for Washington County Public Schools. I will be speaking on behalf of Washington County Educational Support Personnel. The WCESP represents 450 hardworking and dedicated support personnel in our school system. The members of the WCESP ask that you fully fund the Washington County Board of Education's budget. This includes funding our pre-K program and the security upgrades to various schools. This request for additional funding is not excessive or outrageous. It is simply what is required that we intend to provide the world-class education for our students that are entitled to. A strong school system is the foundation of our community. High-quality public schools are a key factor in attracting families and businesses to come and stay in Washington County, improving our economy and quality of life. Our great schools begin with great educators. We need to make sure that our schools are in a position where we can recruit and retain the outstanding staff that every parent wants their child to have. The support professionals are the educators tasked with keeping our schools safe for kids. They are the custodians, transportation, and food service workers, the secretaries and the paraprofessionals who work side by side with the teachers and the administrators to help the students learn and succeed every day. We need the appropriate funding so we can compensate our ESPs with a true living wage. We ask that the community care for our staff with the same compassion passion that we hear for the students every day. Everyone says that they support education, which is an easy statement to make. Actions, though, speak louder than words, and this is your chance to prove it. Please fully fund the Washington County Board of Education's budget. Thank you.
We're going to jump up, and we'll be on today, and we'll have you in the hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Bell. I'm representing the Commissioner of Washington County this election. I want to associate myself with Bill and comments about education. I'm not here to talk about education, but it's certainly something on my mind. Before my class of 2000. I want to make sure the county commissioner allocated 2 qualitative positions for the 911 center that are I believe the request was 4 from the Division of Emergency Services. In my opinion, it needs to be much higher than that, possibly 8 to 10. The problem we have is it's not enough room, the current 911 center. It's outgrown its size right now. There's 12 seats in that room, and it's not sufficient for this county's future growth and needs. I also want to know, have you looked at possibly building a new 911 center at the Public Safety Training Center, site on Sharpsburg Pike? If you have, I would encourage you to do that as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build a 911 center that will last for the next 50 years. That's my opinion. I think you share that opinion. Also, people need to know how important the 911 service is. We talk about education, how important it is. Public safety gets that level a little bit higher because we need to know when we call 911 for help, someone's going to answer the phone, dispatch the police department, the fire department, or an ambulance to your house, school, or place of business. I think this county needs to do so much better in that regard. I would highly encourage you to fund the 911 service much better than you've been doing the last several years. Thank you.
We have a little up, we go back to on deck, or else we'll move on.
Good evening, President Mayor, Vice President Klein, Commissioner Seaver, and Barr. I think you all know who I am. I'm the Hill President of the Washington County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Speaking this evening, so I'm not just speaking as somebody with the Fire and Rescue and EMS. I'm also a retired law enforcement officer. I served with the Fire Marshal also. A long-time member and instructor with the American Fire and Rescue Institute for 10 years in my past history. So some of the comments that I'm going to make on a couple of subjects, please take that into consideration. First of all, I would thank you because we have seen an increase this year in the budget for fire and rescue, especially with increases to our companies for fuel and maintenance reimbursement. We appreciate that very much. That helps out the companies tremendously. Also, with the staffing plan that went into effect with the career staffing, that went into special operations, and then freed up part-time people to help our companies with drivers when needed when they have vacancies that they can't fill at a certain time. And the company direct pays that program is working very well, and some of the chiefs in the county also stated that also. Also, thank you for dedicating money for the Public Safety Training Center, and also ensuring that that piece of property stays in the hole down there. And I believe just sort of one good reason why that we strongly support that the 49-acre complex can be utilized for expansion for fire rescue and law enforcement for many years to come. Also, the association thanks you tremendously for allowing funding to come forward to keep our recruitment and retention coordinator, Ms. Nicole Solomon, who has done an excellent job with that program. FEMA is very pleased with our program. Our insurer, BFIS, has said it should be a model program for companies. At the last quarter report, she had brought in 649 new members to the companies, and we can track at least 358 are actively responding to those calls. So thank you so much for that funding to keep that program available to the county fire and rescue and EMS companies, because she can expand on that now. She cannot deal with EMS just because of the grant said it had to be certified firefighters. So now she can help to recruit auxiliary people to help out administratively and also with the EMS companies. I do have a couple concerns I just would like to briefly mention to keep a watch on, at least for our companies, and support for them. I know that the reserve fleet and enterprise replacement fund was collectively put together and decreased from approximately, I think it was 1.3 million to 800,000. That is a program that came forth from all of our companies several years ago when we had a steering committee. I would encourage you, hopefully, that in the future, we could put money back in so we have an adequate reserve fleet for the companies when their apparatus gets out to be repaired or out of service for some reason. That decreases maintenance costs, which is what the county is picking up now and helping the companies. Plus, it gives extra apparatus just in case there's an accident or something and the company does not have waiting available. So our companies looked at the 3 to 5 year plan with reserve fleet, one in Sharpsburg. They're going to keep 2 engines now. They just ordered a large capacity tanker. So that means they don't have a second engine in service if the primary one's out of service. Also, I'm going to add something that one of the board members stated for the Board of Education, that is, I would like to see over $6 million taken out of that activities building and utilized as we go forth to help out all the needs, including the Board of Education and also public safety. I also like to mention from the previous speaker that I think we need to really make sure that the 911 Communication Center is a high priority. They're the first line for fire EMS and law enforcement, and those people, if they don't give out correct information, or they get misinformation, or they don't get, especially that critical information out to law enforcement, it could be a great safety factor and decrease service to our citizens. So just please, I echo that, please take into account. I know that the county administrator and the director of emergency services is working on reorganization, and I applaud them for that. And again, this last, the public safety training facility, certainly we thank you for your support in the increase, but we also like to see some funding put back in, especially for the gymnasium. This is a critical facility that's taken a lot of time by all the agencies. And I said on the advisory board, we're planning this facility to educate, and this is an education facility for public safety in Washington County. All of the departments, including the city of Bakerstown, the state police can utilize it, the sheriff's office, future fire academies. And I'm sure probably we're going to have to start having in the future to have more career personnel for our stations. So that's basically some of the main points I wanted to bring forth this evening. So certainly thank you for your past support, your future support. I would like to read one sentence from an editorial that was on the 911 Communication Center in Herald several weeks ago. And it says, we acknowledge that it's easy to throw taxpayer dollars around, more difficult to find ways to stretch those dollars to cover multiple priorities. However, assurances of reliable emergency services need to rise to the top of the main priority list. Thank you.
Thank you, President Baker and Commissioners. I can throw most of what I have in my notes aside because the superintendent and board members and some of the other speakers have said well better than I could have said how important funding Washington County Public Schools. Thank you to Dr. Michael and the elected Board of Education members for speaking tonight in this public venue. Thank you to all the educators who are here, because I speak not just as the association president, but as a person. I live here, I worship here, I work here. My children attend Washington County Public Schools. I don't speak just as a professional for a fully funded budget. I speak as a parent. I speak for all of the parents who can't be here tonight because they're shuttling kids or they're working a second job. We have a lot of educators who aren't here because they're working second jobs, just to make ends meet. We have a teacher shortage. It's only going to get worse. We have teachers leaving Washington County to go to other jurisdictions because their benefits are better, their pay is better, we're both. They're leaving our county. They're leaving our children because we can't afford to keep them. So the ones who are here tonight, thank you for being here. We work as a team, the administrators, the support personnel, the teachers. We educate children from birth through 21. We reach out to the children, the neediest children in our community, from birth, when they're referred to us from the hospitals and pediatricians. People forget that. We work with children who are 21. We work with children who are wheelchair bound, who cannot speak. We have paraprofessionals who feed our children, who change adult diapers, and they're getting paid $12 or $14 an hour to do that, to care for our most vulnerable young people. We can't afford to shortchange those professionals. I wish I had a magic wand. I do. A magic wand. We all get our money. We could hire 20 more deputies, 20 more firefighters, 10 more 911 operators. I don't have that magic wand. Until we figure out what that magic wand is, we need to commend Dr. Michael and staff for being fiscally conservative, as fiscally conservative as the county commissioners have been. He's tightened the budget. We keep hearing, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze? There ain't no more juice left to squeeze. He has squeezed it all. There's nothing left in that lemon. We can't make lemonade because there's no juice left in those lemons. In 1848, Horace Mann said, education is a great equalizer. And in Washington County Public Schools, we educate every child who walks through our doors. And some people don't like that. Some people criticize Washington County Public Schools for the students we educate. We educate every single child who walks through the doors. I don't care if they have special needs, if they have emotional issues, if they have health issues, if they don't speak English. It's our job to educate them. I have the best job in the world educating those children. Our students deserve, as do their educators, a fully funded budget. Our students deserve access to pre-K. That investment pays off for generations. Our students deserve access to mental health services. School counselors. These are schools that have counselors every day. That's unacceptable. Our students deserve speech therapists, PTs, OTs, paraprofessionals. Paraprofessionals who assist with learning, mobility, testing. Our students and their educators, their administrators, their teachers, their parents, they deserve modern, clean, safe, secure learning environments. Without a fully funded budget, cuts could take place. If those cuts take place, our safety and the learning opportunities of our children are compromised. Our community cannot afford subpar schools. It costs far less to educate than to remediate or incarcerate. I respectfully ask that you invest in our future by fully funding Washington County Public Schools so that our students and our community can benefit from a comprehensive, free, and appropriate public education. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you all of you for your service and for the work and efforts of yourselves as well as your staff. And also thank you to everybody in the room. Your participation is important. Democracy only works when you show up. So thank you to all of you. My name is Carlos Blatt, and I'm a father to 3 boys, all of whom attend Washington County Public Schools. And my children deserve a quality education and quality schools, but so does every other child in this county. Some children are growing up in families with a parent who is incarcerated, or a parent who has been deported, or maybe a child is being raised by a grandparent. Some kids are dealing with serious issues in their homes, such as trauma, abuse, opioid addiction, or alcoholism. Some are living in a state of poverty that is absolutely unacceptable this day and age in the United States. As a county, but also as a community and as a country, we are not doing enough. We are failing our children and our communities. As many people said before me, I believe that the school system and that Dr. Mantle has proposed a fiscally conservative budget. They're doing all they can with what they have. Our teachers, our administrators, our parents, they're doing all they can with what they have. Our educators should have the tools and resources they need to do what they love to do so much, and that is to teach children. Just as we would not give a brain surgeon a butter knife, we should not give our teachers class sizes of sometimes up to 30 students, or not enough staffing to deal with the behavioral issues, or not enough staffing to deal with mental health concerns. Our educators take pride in the fact that they have the opportunity and the privilege to teach every single child, not just the ones from two-parent middle-class homes. Many people in our community, honestly, have absolutely no idea. They have no idea the miracles that our teachers, parents, and administrators are creating on a daily basis. And they're creating these miracles with funding levels that are morally inadequate. We always talk about doing what's best for kids. However, this current budget and these current funding levels are not what's best for kids. It is the bare minimum. It is the legal requirement. COMAR states that in each fiscal year in which a county's prior year's education effort is below 100% of the statewide 5-year moving average of education effort, the department will designate the county as a low-effort county. That's us. We're a low-effort county. Every single one of our children, no matter their socioeconomic background, no matter if they attend Hancock or Eastern or Vesper schools, no matter their race, no matter their ethnicity, their ability, or no matter what their first language is, they deserve better than low effort when it comes to funding their education. Frederick Douglass once said that it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. I respectfully request that you fully fund the education budget, as our children and our community deserve maximum effort.
No one on that. Mike Gasper, National Navy, Mineral.
Good evening, Commissioner Kiefer, Fine, Baker, and Clark. I'm here this evening to talk to you about a few budget items and financial aid that our nation services is looking at. Always in the past, you've always been a great support to our nation services. As we hear from the educators in this building, we're coming to a crisis state in education, our investment services. Our manpower is not what we had years ago. Our trucks are getting out understaffed. Now, I have a few stats I just want you guys to hear, which is alarming. I don't think a lot of the public really understands what type of crisis this county's turning into. And some things I look at here is always, the fundraising efforts, the emergency calls in this county, the staff and services, what services we provide to the citizens in this county. Everybody knows the firehouses and churches are cornerstones of our communities. We build our trust from the communities. They trust us by the service we give them. They look to us for advice. And we're not in business to lie to people. We're in the business to assure them that they're getting the protection they deserve. And as you know, the firehouses, yes, the educators said schools are getting old. Some of our firehouses are 50, 75 years old. Air conditioning units been in the buildings for 30 years. We don't have funds to replace them. Crucially, these buildings are some of the buildings that we have as shelters for the public to come into if there's an emergency somewhere, to bring them in to make sure they got a safe place to come to. How do we fix this? There's no more money to put in maintenance costs into buildings when we're paying staff and fire trucks. So these are the kind of things we got to look at. And throughout the county, I know we have designated areas through the Red Cross to bring people in shelters.
But we got people knocking on their doors all the time, they ask them to travel through the area, they can stay at our firehouses because they have no place to go. We got navigation trails in our area. We don't turn people away. They come to us for security. We will make sure we can provide it. So one of our things we talk about is the bond issues in this county. We heard the finance also talking about our AA plus bond ratings. Well, how do you get that? Well, budgets, the fire and rescue services, provided equipment, manpower, ISO classifications in this county. That saves this county millions of dollars. How do you get that? Flipping a lot of hamburgers, taking a lot of training, raising a lot of funds, providing top line equipment. Millions of dollars of investments the volunteers are putting into the service today. It's still benefit our communities, it benefits our government. The borrowed money at good bond ratio rating. So those are the kind of things that we need to understand what the volunteer services are doing for this county. I'm going to answer the calls. Chief Alden, coming up here, talking about our radio systems. They're outdated. $450,000 worth of radio system upgrades. We got to figure this out. That's our first line of defense to talk to each other if there's an emergency going on. So they replace systems, school systems. We got to have communications in this county. We got outdated radio equipment. Specialty equipment we need for the mountain rescues, the river rescues. All these things cost money, especially trainings. I do want to thank the county commissioners for stepping up to trade help us with our hose testing, ladder testing, home testing. Those kind of things and make sure that you know that the equipment is safe to use and the equipment we're using meets the standard. That's a good thing for this county. And I applaud you, the commissioner, for stepping up and helping us out with those projects. Manpower. We all hear about manpower shortage. I'm speaking from Boonesboro Fire Department as the chief of Boonesboro. I'm not speaking for other people, other fire departments. The little area of Boonesboro, we have about 50 square miles of coverage in that area. We're spending about $86,000 of our own funds to provide a driver in the daytime, weekends, and sometimes night times. We used to have volunteers. We don't have the trained people to fill the seats anymore. So we need $25,000 for the commissioner, but we applaud you for helping us out with the staffing. But we got to figure out a way, how do we do this workers' comp? We're paying $8,000 for workers' comp. Do we get an umbrella policy, maybe all the departments come together under one policy and help us offset that $8,000? So really, the $25,000 we use for staffing, we're really not getting the whole $25,000. So that's just something we can work as a task force group and figure this out. We're trying to keep up with the NFPA, it's the National Fire Protection Association, OSHA, the national standards, the state standards, the federal standards, code law regulations. That's not just for county government employees. Volunteers, we're not exempt from that. We got to meet the same standards as professionals. It costs a lot of money to maintain the certifications and have that training. I compare a school bus to a fire truck, since we're talking about education and fire service. A school bus, the budget people $900,000 is what a school bus costs. A fire truck right now, a plain fire truck costs $600,000. No bells or whistles. There's a 3% increase every year on top of that. A ladder truck is costing us anywhere from $900,000 to $1.2 million to replace. You think about 3% every year on top of that, we're so far behind now trying to keep up with inflation, we can't do it. Ambulance service, haul somebody to the hospital, you get $125,000 to $150,000 to haul somebody to the hospital now. These are big dollar items, and fundraising can't keep up with it. We cannot raise enough funds to keep paying these here bills. We're running fire trucks where they used to replace them 10, 15 years. We're running fire trucks 25 years old. That's not good safety practice for my people as a volunteer. But we continue to piece them together, keep them running. My big thing I was hitting on tonight is tourism in this county. So many commissioners have heard this from me before. Washington County is a mega hub for tourism. We have so much to offer. Everybody in the United States wants to come to Maryland, Harpers Ferry area, because we have so much history in this county. Well, tourism costs money. This is just some of the stats I want people to think about here. The Appalachian Trail, 20-some miles of trail. We're taking in over 102,000 people a year on that trail. A lot of medical emergencies are up on that trail. We got to go up and get them for fire and rescue services. 3 to 5 hours sometimes for us to open the house and get people out. Get special equipment, gators, special full-drive to get these people out. The Potomac River. Everybody, it's a great fishing destination. Nice place to go out and get your boats. Well, the boating industry, the kayaking, the rafters from out-of-state vendors are bringing people in on our river, and we're not getting nothing in return. When they rent these canoes, tubes, we're having about 78,000 people a year using tubes and canoes and whitewater rafting, but we're not getting nothing in return for using our river, and we're going out and get these people off the rocks, people having boating accidents. They're coming into Washington County, in the lower part of Washington County, Sandy Hook, Tony Valley area. We're the ones that go out and get these people when we're having an emergency. Large school groups from way down the road that come up and rent canoes. A lot of people shouldn't be on the river, but we gotta take care of the emergency when it happens. We don't, can't discriminate on what type of people's coming on the river. Emergency comes, we have to come and get it. And that business is very expensive, but we gotta find ways to get that tax revenue through our county to get a kickback to help the service. The JFK run, about 11,000 people a year. That's a huge impact. Bike races, everybody promoted these bike races. 3,500 people is coming to South Carolina real soon. Support people, support staff. We have to figure out ways to change our running assignments in those areas to make sure people are protecting those areas that we get to them quickly. The 4th of July, everybody loves Independence Day, 4th of July, ATM National Battlefield, whatever. We'll bring in 30,000 people to see that every year. The luminaries, everybody loves luminaries. That impacted the fire and rescue services. How many cars and how many people was coming in and out Washington County to see those? But these kind of things impacts the fire and rescue services. The CEO Canal, 800,000 people a year visit the CEO Canal. You think that's impacting fire and rescue services? We run a lot of calls on the CEO Canal. Harpers Ferry, they take in almost 450,000 people. Harpers Ferry, that's in West Virginia. Well, part of it is from Maryland Heights and all kinds of Maryland. And we got to service that area to get people on the mountains. A lot of hikers and goes up in that area. South Mountain Outfield brings in 11,000 people. Greenbrier State Park. That's just not a summer recreation, that's a summer winter recreation. 365,000 people goes to Greenbrier every year. Galvin State Park takes in about 97,000 people. Western Minor takes in 100,000. We talked about Short Memorial Day Parade takes in like 20,000. Bloomberg Days 10,000. Morris County Ag Center. Great program for the farmers. Everybody get out, have good times. See what Washington County is all about. That's taking in 32,000 people a year. That's a big impact on fire and rescue services. Provide service there all the time and the traffic coming in. So I give you all these numbers. What does that mean? It's a change in the landscape in South County. I'm not talking about North County. Fire and rescue services want to provide a service to 2,662,000 people is coming in and out of Washington County a year. And we are charged with giving protection to every one of those people when they come in this county. Our resources are low. Funding mechanisms are down. But we still got to provide that service to these people. When we promote tourism, we got to have ways to make sure we can provide the service to the county. And I ask the county commissioners this. The hotel motel tax, is there any way that the fire and rescue services can see finding a way to somehow piggyback on that and get some kind of funding to help us to buy equipment for the amount of tourism that's coming into this county? Because we got to figure out a way to provide more funding for the, tourism or protection. And I talked about the chief landscape. In the 1950s, South County, we had like 1,071 homes. Yeah, in 2015, we had like 3,336 homes. That's a 119% increase in homes, just in South County. Is that concerned? Yeah. If you're trying to keep up with the growth of the county and the services you're providing. Transportation down that area. The Amtrak train is going in Brunswick, Point Ross. 65,000 passengers a year are using that. We're using about 67, about 340 to get to those areas. Washington County is a bedroom community, Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Those people moving into these areas, they think, well, it's a paid system, and they expect certain service. Well, our taxes pay for your service. In a way, it is, but in a way, it's not. We're not getting full service tax for what we do. Some other things, I want you to think about. We heard the people talk about the senior citizens. In our area, we have 2 active nursing homes and several private nursing homes. I know the fastest growing populations, that takes special needs, special services. We got to plan for, buy special equipment, ladder trucks to get these people out of these buildings if something happens. These are the kind of things we got to think about, long-term growth, buy special equipment. We'll allow these services in our county, then we will have to have the equipment to provide service to them. Some of the other things with, in South County, there's 2,700 units in South County is controlled land area. I in the town of Boonesboro, that's how many building options left in South County. It has about 4 people per household. Think what that's going to be in 20 years. Population growth. The county population rate has 149,000 people, roughly, 2015 Census Bureau said. Well, we talked about we got to protect those 149,000 people, regardless of Boonesboro, Church Spring, or whatever, we go everywhere. You got to think about the sports events that's coming in and out of this county. That's impacting the fire rescue services too. You got to be there for standbys. Interstate 81, we have about 59,000 vehicles a day traveling that. Interstate 70, roughly about 64,000 vehicles a day. That's a huge impact on our services. 150,000 vehicles a day is coming in out of Washington County. These are kind of things we have to think about as well with our infrastructure and how we go about protecting that. Emergency calls, just for 2017, about 27,000 emergency calls. The volunteers in EMS, in EMS implementation. That's emergency call, that's not emergency. So think about that when you think about every time you see a fire truck or ambulance. 27,000 times, we would have to help the people in this community. So what does all this mean? I think it's a crisis that's being in Washington County in the fire and rescue services. And how do we go about finding funding to get more manpower, to buy equipment and replacement fleets? This is a really easy stat. Director Hayes might help us out on this. In 2017, driver only, a fire truck went out to help the public. 20% of the time, we only had a driver only one person. When we say undermanned or light, in 2017, 70% of the time, we didn't have the correct staffing to do our job properly. So I ask you, this county commissioners, in the past, we worked as a team, in the future, working with DES in our communities. I ask you, if there's anything possible that we find more revenue to to help us out, and keep the volunteers enhancing the program going. I sure appreciate that. Always.
Councilman, it seems to me that you're going to have to dig out your food graders, reach in the garbage and get your lemon rind and go to work on the line, but you're well squeezed in your juice. It's gone. My words won't be there that windy. Commission on Aging and the Senior Center. Number one, gentlemen, thank you very much for the Senior Center. How many people go there who don't have anywhere else to go? The programs, from the car lessons, to piano lessons, to bridge lessons, you can find it all there. They've outgrown the facility in the first year, but thank you for such a beautiful building and the thought and the money that went into that. Seniors are the fastest growing segment of the population. And I assure you that if you fully fund what they're asking for at the Commission on Aging, you'll get a return on your money that will be more than 100%. But the thing that you have to remember is that all these people that go to the Senior Center are old enough to vote.
Jack Farr on the deck, Sir for the Wells.
Thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to speak again. This time I switch hats. I'm talking on behalf of the Commission on Aging. And this is pretty dear to my heart. Some of you know that I have been in senior care for about 20 years. Worked at the Sporting Retirement Village as an activity director for many years. And took a little hiatus to make some food at a restaurant. Took a position at the Commission on Aging, which has probably been so rewarding, to say the least, because I'm able to work with the population that's very dear to my heart. But I focus mainly on nutritional needs for our seniors, something that I've been a part of Washington County for all their lives. These folks need our help. They need a hot meal, they need human contact, they need someone to check on them every day, and many have none but us. And that is the Commission. Recently, we invited each of you to ride along for Meals on Wheels delivery. Two of you were able to do that firsthand. How important that meal was, you got to see that. And what the service that provides, and what it means to them. So we're scheduled to do ride along this summer, and I hope that you also see the value of that program. Meals on Wheels is just one of the 50+ services that the Commission on Aging provides on donations and grants. Right now, we have 60+ seniors that are on a waiting list for a hot meal. We need that social interaction with a meal delivery volunteer. We need someone to provide a safety check on them each day. These are all medically homebound seniors who can't get out or go to the store, or in most cases, who have family to meet their needs. We need your support for these seniors who need the service but are still on the waiting list. I ask you, please reallocate funds to remove their names off of that waiting list. Thank you.
Jeff Farr up, Sir for the deck. Ryan Brown,
Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm a 10th grade English teacher at Achievement Academy. I live here. I brought with me tonight my teacher ID card. When I was a bright-eyed 49-year-old, I decided I was going to become a teacher, and I moved here. I'm not quite so bright, but I'm at the end, pretty much, my teaching career. Everybody here, we know too. And I work with, not for, but I work with some of the best people in education. And I'm including my students. We deal with some of the, well, sometimes they call me, school district course, and that's where everybody doesn't fit in goes. But I work with heroes every day in my classroom. Gives you stories. We put most of our life experience to shame. Gives you hockey and medals just for showing up, let alone grades for what's going on. And it tears me to not be able to give them the education that they deserve, let alone that is mandated by law, because I can't do everything I'm asked to do in my classroom. I'm grateful for $230,000 to fund somewhere to have over and above maintenance of effort. I get it. I mean, I applied $250,000. It sounds more that way. It's only $230,000 above the bare minimum that we're required to do. I'm not here to berate. I really come in the spirit of come let us reason together. I do not see, and I do not maintain that there's any meanness of spirit in anybody who's making these financial decisions. But I think there's maybe a lack of vision, or we need a change of paradigm. I'm not asking you to fully fund the school budget by getting 100 seniors waiting for a meal, or do we have another 15 minutes for the response time for fire rescue services? I guess what I'm saying is, if we've gone 19 years trying to slice the same pie, maybe it's time for a bigger pie. Please do not sell my students' education on the cheap. I'm asking you to take a look at how we might meet the needs. There's not a single need over here tonight that I wouldn't vote for. Not one. So I ask that we entertain perhaps, in my classroom I have to have essential questions. I don't know how they're essential. No, put an essential question on the board. I got an essential question. Well, I suggest maybe the essential question here is, how do we build a growth mindset? How do we fund the future if we are simply satisfied with funding the status quo? Which is where I think we've been respectfully submitted. Thank you.
Ryan Brown, student on deck, got maybe in the hall.
Yes, good evening. I'm Tom Bruce, a resident of Royersville in South County, a taxpayer, and somehow in their infinite wisdom, people sitting up on the stage here appointed me twice to be commissioned on the Agency's Advisory Board. Thank you. Waiting to be young, apparently, for I'm here to speak on behalf of seniors. And unlike a lot of other people who have spoken before me, I wasn't born in Washington County. Unfortunately, I didn't have some of the features that some of you had in your educational career here. However, I am a senior, and I'm a senior who chose to live here. It's a wonderful place. I recommend it highly to all sorts of people. And as a senior, speaking for myself, and my wife and a number of my friends, we spend innumerable unpaid hours in volunteer service in this county. Seniors are not simply a drag on the county. If you added up the hours and we were paid in kind, a lot of us are pretty experienced people, experienced in everything, who do these services, unpaid. We're saving the county government a good deal, I think.
think it's a good deal for everybody. And as has been mentioned before, the numbers of seniors as a percentage of the population of Washington County is going to be skyrocketing for the next 2 to 3 decades. We know this. Can't sit under a rock and make believe it's not coming. It's there. And so many have mentioned already, that simple fact, we go through this every single meeting of the advisory board. How many now are on the waiting list for Meals on Wheels? How long are we going to have to hear this? Doesn't make sense to me. I work with hospice too. And almost every hospice patient I have ever had thinks that they have to host me. You're dying. We need to host those people. At least give them me. And just to mention one little fact, as has been mentioned about Meals on Wheels since we talked about it, the greatest factor in that program probably is the social contact that these people get from this program. I recently read a very good article about a study done at the university in which they listed the factors of people who have lived to be 100 years old or more. Of course, on the list was nutrition. It was also exercise, as we might assume, good health care. But you know what the number one thing was? By far and away, the amount of social interaction and contact that you have, and the quality of them, with friends, real friends. This is what the Commission on Aging provides in spades. It saves a heck of a lot of money, people not going to the doctors, not needing the emergency services. The Commission doesn't get much. You know, it's a non-profit organization. It's not even a county government exactly. But we need some funding. And, you know, I personally, after listening to the previous person before me, we're all saying we're proud that the county government has held the line for 19 years. That's your proud accomplishment. We hear it over and over again. I think if you have heard from people here this evening, there's a lot of other things that we as citizens of Washington County would like to be proud of. And I think it's trying to be a little creative here, a little vision, and we hope when we come back next year for something like this, and whatever's up there, maybe we'll have some progress made on it. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate what you guys do, but you know what I'm saying.
Good evening, everyone. President Baker, Vice President Khan, Commissioner Kiefer and Barr, thank you for your time and thank you for letting me speak on this evening. My name is Brian Brown. I'm a junior at Washington County Technical High School, and tonight I stand before you humble and advocating on behalf of my peers and in some instances my teachers and administrators. At this time, however, I want to talk about the education budget, and I want to give you 2 reasons why I feel we should do it coming from a student's perspective. The first reason is the teachers need help. That's just, me being straight blunt. Teachers need help. Teachers are going out and buying classroom resources with their own personal money. Now, a pack of, that $10 pack of pencils, that starts to add up after a while. One pack, But I feel that the funding should be that they shouldn't have to do that as often. That they should be able to have those resources available to the students when needed. Also, as Mr. Malala was saying, I feel that if some teachers do a teacher's aid, well, most teachers do. You've got class sizes of 20, 25 kids, and it's one teacher. Now, me being a student, I'll be really honest with you, some students don't have that access to
to the teacher, because when the bell rings, you got, say 3 minutes to get to class, and you have to stop at your locker, which is clear across, the school. If the teacher's aide is there, that kind of clears up any clarification, and the lack of teacher's aide puts a lot of stress on the teachers, changes the learning environment of the classroom, and in some instances, provides lack of instruction and student development. We need money for teachers' aides and for classroom resources. And finally, I won't be long, but my second one is the students. Now, talking to some of my peers in last year, some students have great ideas for programs that we can all use together. However, the problem is that the funding isn't there for these programs. Not only will these activities produce higher academic performance, but they will also result in a stronger sense of love, connection, and unity throughout the student body of Washington County Public Schools. Now, some students in general cannot be deemed college and career ready by the PARCC test standard if we do not have the proper resources in order to get us there. Now, I'm a man of faith if you ask anyone. God promised us that He would supply all our needs according to what He has for us. And I truly do pray that He find it in your hearts to fund this budget so that we can strive for a better community and a school body. And in closing, I have a little sign here I'm going to show the commissioners, but I'm not show everybody else. But the sign says that students cannot give above the line effort with below the line funding and assistance. We need above. What separation means is students that I talk to, are there any misconceptions, if you will, about my generation? Students in my generation are striving for a above-the-line community in the future. Not only for, me and my peers, but I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I got younger people in my family coming up. And all I ask is that you fund this budget for a brighter tomorrow for me as a graduate and for them coming up, so that we have a higher and more unified, intelligent society, and not a below-the-line society which produces nothing. But thank you for your time, thank you for listening, God bless you.
That's very good.
And on Libya, we'll go on that.
I moved to Washington County in 2013. But first of all, I want to let everybody know that things are better. I've been hiding or walking by new things now. And, special. So when you're a veteran, thank you. Because a lot of us are still in pain. How old we are or how young we are, still part of pain. The main reason why I'm here is because yesterday in the email, I saw this thing about the senior citizen center. And I got excited, so my fact finding is something I didn't have to understand. But I had to be there. The two organizations I knew when I first came to Hagerstown in 2013 was the Ellis on Robinwood, and Dick Miller was my sponsor, and the senior center. And believe me, I had met a lot of seniors who were also hurt. And it wasn't for our closest, it was the seniors. I think a lot of them passed away early. Much sooner. I met some people who lost their spouse, and they said, for the center, it'd probably be like today. The staff at the senior center is a wonderful staff, professionals. I don't think it was still here, or it was still here. I want to thank you. I'm kind of sad about what I hear about education and public safety, because I know they're very important, very important. But think about it, seniors, parents, their grandparents. A lot of them have worked 50 or more years, paid the taxes, good citizen. And now, what we're looking for now is some sort of reward. Because one day, guess what? Y'all gonna be there. Y'all gonna be there. When I was a soldier at the age of 21, I get ready. I'm 67 years old. Time, boom, it's like. So, that's all I can say. Thank you.
President Baker. My name is Lee Wall, I'm the Chief of the Wayne Support Volunteer Fire and EMS. First of all, I want to say thank you for, I came before you at your public meeting in Clear Spring and spoke to you about the critical need of our public safety training center and the importance of keeping it in its original purpose, and that's just that, public safety training center. And thank you for hearing all of our requests and hundreds of emails that were sent probably to you guys for doing just that. So thank you very much for that. That is going to be a monumental educational facility for all of our public safety and first responders, police, fire, and emergency medical technicians in the future. Every dollar that's invested there is an investment back in our first responders, as with all the other educators and students requesting money. As President Trump said today at a national police week event, the job of government is to protect the citizens. And I think you've heard that very clearly tonight. We have a lot of critical needs. Our public safety training center, 911 call takers, 2 is not enough. I worked there back in the 90s. We had 3 people that worked, and that probably was sufficient. Sometimes there was 1 police dispatcher on duty, and maybe 1 sheriff's department dispatcher on duty. Well, we were the call takers, 3 of us. We also had to dispatch fire and EMS calls, and monitor all kinds of other activities with 3. Now, we've combined everything, and we've more than doubled the call volume from when I worked there in the 90s. 2 isn't enough. Please fund the director's request at 4 per grade. As we appreciate all the funding that you have provided our emergency services agencies, the capital funding plan is severely underfunded for where we are today. I believe Chief Griffith outlined some basic costs of what our apparatus are at. I respectfully request to take those funds that you've allocated for a recreational center and put those back towards education and public safety. Because we do have some direct needs for every first responder out there today. Our radio system is 10 years old. The radios that we carry are like pocket computers. We replace, for the most part, our cell phones every 2 to 3 years. Shouldn't we give our public safety providers that same effort by them having a modern radio that they can call for help? For my organization alone, we have 2 critical needs. That's new SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, for our personnel to enter structure fires or to be involved with hazardous materials events to protect their lungs. Cancer is slowly becoming the #1 killer of firefighters besides cardiovascular disease. Besides the self-contained breathing apparatus and the radios that we need, that's $450,000. How did I fund that 15 years ago for SCBA and 10 years ago for the radios? Grants. Where our grants are drying up. They're much more competitive. $450,000. Without county capital funding put into place, we can't put that out there to our volunteers. Do you know how many bingos that is? A lot. For our PTA people, that's a lot of money to raise if you had to fund something like that for your school. But for us, it's life and death. My job as an incident commander is to make sure that everybody goes home. My job as a fire chief is to make sure my people have the right tools to do a good job, and they do it safely. So I just don't ask you, I beg you, please, find the revenues necessary, if not today, tomorrow, to fund public safety, so that we can make sure all of our volunteers and first responders go home. Thank you.
So that's the last name I have on my first sheet. Did anyone come in like the sheet signed? Carol, give Commissioner Ross.
My name is Dave Williams. In looking at the brochure that you gave out this evening, it looks like the enterprise portion of your budget is a needs-based budget, where if the landfill needs money, they raise the fees to get the money. It looks like the rest of your budget, the general budget, should be a needs-based budget as well. Seems like there are a lot of needs here that have been expressed this evening that you're not able to cover in that small pile of money that you get over the taxes that you've had for 19 years. So maybe it's time to have a needs-based budget. If the money's not there, you need to raise it. Now, I understand it says you focus on growing the tax base instead of the tax rate. That is great. Evidently, the tax base isn't growing fast enough for you to meet all the needs in the county. So therefore, you need to either get creative, find money somewhere, or maybe you need to look at raising the tax rate to come up with that money. Now, 20 years ago, somehow taxes were raised. I don't know whether that was an accident or whether there were commissioners that were courageous. I don't know how that happened. But maybe 20 years later, it's time to have another group of courageous commissioners decide that they're going to maybe raise the tax rate a little bit to come up with some extra money to meet some of these dire needs that are being expressed this evening. Thank you.
President Day, Commissioner David, and Commissioner Stanley, I'm Pastor Lee Smith, I have this church. Brian Brown is one of my members. I have several young people in school who share with me all the time their struggles and their teacher struggles trying to help with diversity, to deal with the needs, the material. And so I just want to applaud you for your efforts that you have done. But I just ask you, I have senior citizens, have over senior citizens over 90 years old that do receive assistance from the senior citizen aging. I have members who are educators who have moved here, who volunteer and substitute teach at schools in Washington County. I have teachers who left this area because they was not allowed to teach in Washington County, who have doctorate degrees, who go all the way down to Frederick and Annapolis, Maryland. I just ask you, and all those who are in leadership positions, remember, we are citizens, we're a family. And we cannot allow our children to grow up uneducated. I just ask you, I don't live in Washington County, I live in Frederick County. But I pastor here. It's a wonderful congregation of people and the people in the community that I socialize and talk to. The chief of police, he's a friend of mine. I believe in first responders. I work for the federal government also. And we look at first responder radios that will help them do their job. They're very expensive, Motorola, Harris. I know how important it is. Plus, I'm a veteran who served 25 years, saving and protecting and defending our country. So I just ask you, look at the budget, we make some hard decisions, but remember our educators, remember our first responders, Remember our senior citizens. Thank you for your time.
One more chance to speak to the commissioners. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out this evening. It was a wonderful evening. Everyone was well behaved, and I appreciate that. And the commissioners will now be forward and make everyone team. Thank you again, and I'll see you next year. Bye.